geocachers, it's time to celebrate your achievement. Introducing the brand new Jasmer Challenge GeoCoins, designed to honor your dedication to one of the toughest geocaching challenges out there. Each coin represents a completed loop of the Jasmer Challenge, marking your journey through the history of geocaching. Whether you've conquered Loop 1, Loop 2, Loop 3, or gone all the way to Loop 4, there's a coin for you. These stunning geocoins were designed by renowned coin artist Christian Mackey, known for his incredible craftsmanship and attention to detail. And at just $25 each, they're a must-have for any serious cacher. Don't wait. Grab yours today in the Geocache Talk Shop and show the world that you've mastered the Jasmer Challenge.
A stunning symbol of adventure, community, and storytelling. Its bold design shines with vibrant colors and a cool retro look. It's more than just a coin. It's a badge of geocaching passion. You can be part of the journey by supporting Geocache Talk on Patreon. Your patronage helps create inspiring shows, grow the community, and keep the adventure going. Join the network at patreon.com/geocachetalk.
Hello, and welcome to Challenge Talk, part of the Challenge Talk Geocache Talk Network. You can watch the show live on the second Tuesday of each month. Feel free to jump over to YouTube or Facebook to watch the broadcast live and join the wonderful and active chat room, or listen to the entire show later on your favorite podcast player or YouTube.
Yeah, that's okay. I think we can make a coup and take over the Geocache Talk Network.
We'll just do that.
It's
been
Challenge Talk
accidentally declared tonight.
Anyway, tonight we're going to visit with Kittykatch from Down Under.
Hi, Kitty. Welcome.
Hey, we're going to recount her recent Quad Jasmer. Quad, as in that's 4 loops of Jasmer, and her quest to achieve it.
I'm so excited to talk about this. Also, we have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com.
Later in the show, we'll play our special game exclusively for the live audience, the Wheel of Challenges. So listen live, get your email app ready, and follow the instructions when the time comes so you can have a chance at winning tonight's grand prize.
And at the end of the show, we'll highlight some of the challenge caches you found, and someone will win our coveted monthly giveaway. So hello, everyone. How are you?
Hey. So it's been a crazy month. I know it has for me. Emily, you did some traveling this month.
Yeah.
Right?
So mine's not as big as yours, but I have definitely been traveling. I just got back yesterday. So we went to a family wedding in Pennsylvania. And of course, I wasn't just going to stop at a family wedding. We went geocaching.
Oh.
So I took my parents down to Berkeley County, West Virginia. We did West Virginia Tim caches, which is always a treat. It was the first time I got to take my dad there. And he, of course, had a lot of fun. I achieved the Geo Challenge of the month for October, which is to find a cache needing a special tool required. One of Tim's caches needed you to bring your own batteries. So we achieved that. And it has to have the attribute. West Virginia Tim's a little tricky. He doesn't have that attribute on all of his caches that require batteries. So I had to find just the right cache, but we got it done. So that was part of the trip. I enjoyed, there's some new treasures that popped up last Tuesday.
Yeah.
I just being outside of my home area with the limited caches to find, I was able to finish that river expedition puzzle treasure within the week. So that was fun to do. Yeah. So I enjoyed that. And then Tim, this is maybe my favorite part. This was International Earth Cache weekend this past weekend.
Yep.
And I went to a Steelers game in Pittsburgh. And there is a plaque, a monument made out of black granite, or maybe you'll learn more when you visit. And it is a monument to the Immaculate Reception of 1972. And that couldn't
I
be
remember that game.
That couldn't be a better Steelers-based Earth Cache for Earth Cache weekend on game day. So that was,
and they even won the game, right?
And they won the game. It was so great. It was so great to be there. So yeah, I've had a great month. How about you?
Well, The month ended really well. It crossed over the end of the month. We did, as many people knew, this was our 40th wedding anniversary cruise. And when my wife asked me where we wanted to go for this, I said, well, how about the Baltic Sea? And she said, sure. And I said, okay, well, that starts in Sweden. Would that be okay? And she said, sure. So we set off for a couple extra days in Sweden, where we had to go find the match stash.
Of course.
Mission, check mark to that one. And we did over 16 days. We did 10 new countries, 12 souvenirs. I did get the Earth Cache souvenir and Postcard Day souvenir while we were there. I got 3 caches to help with my year 2000. So I'm now 8 away from a Quad Jasmer. Still got 8 to go, though, so that's a long way.
That's all right. You made a huge dent.
Yeah. I got the oldest cache in Sweden, of course. Met friends from Finland that had traveled here last year, and we got the oldest cache in Finland. And because of some ship issues, we were actually in Copenhagen for a little longer than expected. And I was able to get Denmark's oldest cache.
Ooh.
So I have those 3. And the icing on the cake was I have a cache that was placed in Russia in my stats. Now, for anybody that knows, there's a little thing going on in Russia with the rest of the world. So I did not have to cross the border.
Okay, tell us more.
A multi-cache. Starts in Russia and ends in Finland. And my friends had the end, and they played me up. They were like, hey, would you like to go to Russia to get this, do you want to get a Russian cache? And I'm like, yeah, if we can dodge drones and bullets, sure, I'm all in. And then as I learned, we had to go 320 kilometers into Russia. I didn't think this was a good plan. But ultimately, it turned out everybody had a good laugh at my expense. I now have Russia on my map. So
without crossing the line.
Without crossing the border.
How wonderful. Good.
Yeah, we did 5 events, 4 of which I attended. One of the ports where I had an event, the ship couldn't get to. So I wrote an announcement and said, hey guys, I'm not going to archive this event. You guys go, have fun, send me pictures. Unfortunately, we won't be there. And there were like 6 people that showed up in Bruges, Belgium, and they had a good time. The person that wrote me, it was their first event. He said they had a great time, meet and greet. They learned so much about geocaching, and it was great. So that was an event I didn't get to.
Oh, wow. They had a good time. That's good.
Yeah. Overall, I got 50 lab locations, 45 virtuals, 24 Earth caches, 23 traditionals, 9 unknown, 8 where I go, 2 multi, and 1 webcam.
Yay, a webcam.
Yay. And my wife has never gotten that many caches in one trip before. And we're still married. So that's
you're still married. She didn't ditch you on the anniversary trip for all of that. No. Congratulations.
Thanks. So that was my month. Now I'm done for the rest of the year, done for next year.
Yeah, your money tree's going into winter, right?
Yeah.
You need it to bloom again.
I do. Yes.
Oh, very good. And Kitty, we're definitely going to get to your adventures. Can't wait to hear about it. So
yeah, you're here for the whole show. So
yeah, you're coming to us from on the road too. I mean, you're in Australia, but you're on the roads still. So
yes, I'm traveling in Queensland at the moment. I'm in my caravan. I think Tim thought I was in a lavatory, but no, I'm in a caravan. Just
because it's kind of white behind you, and it looks like a sink off behind you to the left. And,
yeah. All right. Very good. Well, we've got a few news items, and as always, we'll have links in the show notes to some of the awesome coins that we have for sale. You saw the promo for the Jasmer coin, and we have our Cache Odyssey coins. And you guys, these Podcast of Hope coins, look at these things. They are humongous. And so glad to have these in hand, because they're just amazing. So we'll have links to all of our coins available, including Jasmer, like I said. And just some updates on some new challenge activity out there. I heard from Birkenstock Report, and she said Alaska doesn't want to be in the bottom 5 stats for challenges. So she's setting out to make some change for Alaska. So she's building a challenge trail. She's getting help from some other cachers who have some additional fines for qualification purposes. And so keep your eyes open. We're going to have some Alaska news. And Charles from Puzzle Talk hid a challenge art in the shape of 25 for 25 years of geocaching. So we'll be adding that to our challenge trail and geo art master document. And he gave a GC code for where to, what you can look up to get started. Let me throw that on the screen real quick. That is GCBCGWY. So you can look that up. I didn't look it up ahead of time. I forget if this is in Arizona. Sorry, guys. I didn't do my research. I was on vacation when I saw this, and I was like, "Oh, gotta
remember this.
Gotta remember this and see what I can do." I did some quick show prep last night when I got home from traveling. So at least there's the GC code. For those that
look for the news on the stats that we always do. Well, because I started traveling on the 27th of September and didn't get home until last night. If you know anything about a cruise ship, internet is extra.
Yes.
And while they gave us 300 minutes for the week, it was only 300 minutes for the week. And I can use 300 minutes in a sitting. So
yes.
I did not update the stats for October. So we will re-update them for November, and I'll do my best to do some math. We'll see how we do, but we're taking a month off.
Completely understandable. No problem, Tim. You were out there having a grand adventure. Yeah.
And Cheeky Britt says that Charles's art is in Utah.
Okay, Southern Utah. I kind of wondered that. So thanks for that update. We also heard some other things from our listeners. Tim, take this next one. This is really neat.
Oh, from Runner Cacher?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Sharon sent in during the 25 years of geocaching in the DMV. Not sure where that is. It was a block party.
I believe that was in Maryland.
Okay. Challenge Talk was a trivia question. Who are the current hosts of the Challenge Talk podcast? And she got the answer to correct.
Woohoo! That was so cool that they picked that. What a neat question to be a part of. We didn't know at all. So thanks for sharing that with us, Sharon. Yeah. We also heard from 2 listeners who hit some challenge caches. Cheeky Britt said, this month I hid GC, BC, TNN, size versus type by 30 hidden in Colorado. And this is in a county that didn't yet have a challenge. And if you recall from our interview with him, he said this was testing the waters on the new rule that we cannot have size chosen as a requirement or even included. I had to modify the challenge. I based this on which requires 40. Because that requires someone to have some size not chosen, dropping it to 30 allows someone to complete it. The challenge without size not chosen, but it does allow them to include it. Of course, there's no precedent in challenges, and just because it got published doesn't mean others can as well. But that was his experience with having to shift to get a challenge that he had planned published when those guidelines changed. And
and we know if anybody is going to push the challenge line, it's going to be the Cheeky.
Yes, he's going to find a way around every seemingly stopping qualification stopper. But yeah, you guys are all awesome. I love that about the whole geocaching community.
Yeah, they are.
Everyone figures out. That's what's been happening for 25 years, right? People have figured out things. People have thought of things that we didn't expect anyone to think of. And our hobby just grows and grows. So well done.
And then the last one sounds pretty cool. I got to look this one up. That Gary from the GB sent in GCBD 510, 10 years climbing the Jasmer staircase challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 10 consecutive years of a staircased Jasmer grid.
Yeah. So if you go to this cache page, it has an image And I don't quite remember where how the early years start, but the year 2015 would require you to have found 15 January 15, February 15 throughout the entire year. And then in 2016, it's 16 per month and 17 per month and so on and so forth.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so anywhere in your history, you need 10 consecutive filled in years.
Right. We
So
did talk about this one
not
on our last show.
well, and he hid this one
Yeah.
since.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not exactly easy, to have the early years and lower numbers, because that's just not as available anymore. So I think that's a great take on a challenge. I really like that.
Yep. 2000 and 2001 start with 1, and then 2002 is a 2. So every year thereafter. So 2025, you need 25 of each month. So yeah, it gets harder as it goes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is interesting from the chat. Captain Math says, I logged a found it on about 100 challenge caches in a day between Ohio and Indiana and qualified for a new awesome Ohio Icon County Challenge by Buckeye Cacher 111. So, wow, how fun.
Yeah, there's some big challenge trails out here in the Midwest.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, that's all of our news. Keep telling us about what you guys are up to, not only your challenge cache finds, but what you're hiding, so we can keep on inspiring the whole community. And now, Kitty, let's talk about your big achievement.
Welcome,
Quad Jasmer.
welcome.
Congratulations. I wish we had sound effects and light effects and all that stuff. But congratulations. Let's chat about your Jasmer quest.
Yeah, because it is a challenge that, I never thought that I would achieve. But with a lot of hard work and a lot of money, probably too, doing those. Because Australia, we have to travel to get that. But I was so excited to get it finished.
Well, wait a minute. I remember that an Aussie geocacher did a GIF film that geocaching is free, is it not?
That's right. The walking's free. You just got to get to the start, don't you? Start of that trail.
That's great. Yeah. The walking is free. So when did you achieve this?
I did it. I finished it in September. I got up and got that last August 2000 cache up near Power Island. And I was up at the Midwest attending the block parties up in Michigan and the other state over there where West Bend is. But then I had to travel down to Texas to get Centex Prime. My last cache was actually a December 2000 cache.
Okay.
So, I think it was September.
Very good. September. So you finished in Texas in September. And you're in Australia, and so that presents unique challenges. If you live in the United States, you can achieve the entire thing in the United States minus one cache, and that's just not your experience. So since you have to travel, I'm curious about the way you decided to plan your trips. I presume you don't have all but one in the United States. You have multiple countries that helped?
There's 4 months we're missing in Australia. There's June, July, August, and September 2000. Mm-hmm. We have got an OSMA challenge where a couple of those around Australia where you can complete that challenge by doing everything that you can't find in Australia. Mm-hmm. But I headed up to I went and got Mingo back in about 2016. And that set me on my quest, I think. I thought, well, if I can get to Kansas and get Mingo, that's when I found out that you needed those 4, 3 in the US, 1 in Sweden. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I'll start working towards it. You never know your luck, do you? So, a lot of planning. And I have to say, I couldn't have done it without my friend Julie, my caching buddy, Julie, who came on quite a few of the trips with me. And she got her 3rd Jasmer.
Congratulations, Julie.
Trip.
Good.
Yeah. And Poanna, who I see is also in the chat, I think she got her Quad Jasmer as well. But just other people, it's your caching mates that set you on these crazy paths, I think.
Right, right. So how many other countries are in your quad stats, if you will, like ones that you specifically had to go to fill in some of those boxes?
Well, I did, like Tim, I did a trip and started in Helsinki and got sun gear, I think it is, in Helsinki. And we drove from Helsinki to Amsterdam in 2023, I think it was, and picked up quite a few of the old caches that were in those Nordic countries. Definitely picked up Match Stash in Stockholm. I think I needed the old one in Belgium. Had to go to Ireland to get Europe's first. We went up to Scotland. That's where I thought I'd get my December 2000 cache, but the weather was against me that day, and I wasn't going to risk things and climb that crazy hill with a waterfall coming down. There's been so much rain. So that's why my last cache was a December 2000 cache.
In
There's
Texas.
quite a few to pick from in America, but I decided my hubby wanted to see Houston. He wanted to go to the Space Center. So I thought, right, you always have to combine things to keep your partners. So I said, okay, you go to Houston, we'll go to the Space Center, then we have to head out of, I think it's out of between San Antonio and Dallas, I think. So we did a big loop then and back to Denver where my brother lives. So I'm pretty lucky. I've got a brother in Denver, and that's helped me to achieve a lot of this as well.
That's good. I do recall different trips you've been over here to the States. He visit with him is included.
Yeah. It was quite funny on this trip too, because I did Midwest and then Camp Migo and then went to West Bend. And it wasn't until I was in West Bend that I realized, I think Hoan or Sula Fave told me, hey, there's a block party in Denver the weekend. You're going to be there. And trying to convince my brother that I hadn't known that. And it was just a coincidence. It was quite a job.
That's too much fun. I know how it is to combine geocaching with adventures. Because for my first loop of the Jasmer, I didn't realize I needed a September of 2000, and my wife wanted to take a winter trip to Phoenix, Arizona. And Phoenix hadn't really excited me until I saw that it had the September of 2000 that I needed. And I was like, honey, Phoenix would be a wonderful spot
I would love
to go this time
Phoenix,
of year.
thank
Love
you.
to go with you. Can we get just one cache?
All right.
I was very surprised when I say, oh, look, honey, there's an earth cache across the road from our hotel. Who would have thought, right? As I do all the planning and booking. Yeah.
Yes.
The way things happen.
Poan's famous words. It's only that far on the map. We've heard that before.
We've heard that a lot of times before.
That's
It's only
great.
that far,
That's
it's only
great.
that far.
Yeah.
But
I think my favorite August 2000 cache was Potter's Pond, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Yule and I did so much planning and research, and will it be wet, and will we get across the creek? And it was, I think it's one of my most beautiful places I've seen in America, and I've seen quite a bit now. And we put up a photo, and we were so intent on getting that cache that day that some American friend said, what about the bear scratchings on that tree you're next to? And we were completely unaware that we even need to think about bears,
Oh my goodness. Anyway. I think I went to Potter's Pond completely on a whim. I did a little bit of research, but yeah, when I hear others talking about the research they did, I just happened to be in Utah and we just had time and we drove there. So yeah. Wow. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, what
another really good one was we went to Yellowstone and the last week in the season, and it got snowed in, and we had to leave early. And I had been planning to go out the East Gate. We wanted to go and go back to Denver that way, but we had to follow a snowplow out the West Gate, and happened to go past southern Idaho's first, which I actually really needed to get and didn't realize at the time. And that was just like you say, happened to be there. Thought, all right, seems like a fun cache to go for, but one of the ones that was essential in my quest for 4 Jasmers.
Good. And you didn't have any winter problems with that one on that trip?
No, that was just snowed a lot in Yellowstone, which was amazing to see that place under a lot of snow.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good. So how many specific trips since 2016 do you think you did to work on Jasmer?
I think at least 3 trips to America and the big trip to Europe in 2022, I think it was. I was lucky, I think in 2019, I had a work trip to Europe. But that was before I was really working on it, and I was limited to the cities that I could go to because I was attending work meetings and things like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think if you just go for as many oldies as you can, you just never know, as you say, that one random cache. My good friend Ralph happened to be going through Canvas and decided to stop for a funny little cache called Mingo on his way through.
Yeah.
It's just stories like that I mean, that's part of this goofy game, isn't it?
Right. It really is. You never know which thing is going to set you on a path towards an obsession or whatever you want to call it.
Well, and when I started, it was, I wanted to be a well-rounded cacher. So I wanted to find new caches. I wanted to find old caches. I had no idea what challenges were at the time and what this Jasmer thing was. I just wanted to find old caches because I thought they were cool. So, and then like it was when we hit that Phoenix trip, that was 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6. And I looked and it was like, hey, I can get this first loop. Hey, that would be really cool. And then now I can't go anywhere without looking at 2,000 caches and going, am I going to be near any? Can I add any to the list? What can I do? So they're no longer serendipitous in my caching, whereas they were to start.
Right. I look at the map and I have certain bookmarks list plotted and then I look at the map of those and then I decide what kind of trip can I craft around what I need. Yeah.
It's a very different way of caching than just going out and having fun.
Well, I have to share, our audience knows how Jasmer obsessed I am. And in this past week, I do swipe to text and I don't remember what I was trying to swipe, but my phone replaced it or thought I was typing and it typed in Jasmer B for me. The creator. So my phone knows Jasmer B and not the word I was actually trying to type. Oh,
that's funny.
It is.
So,
I love Jasmer.
I guess the big question, Kitty, is now that you've achieved the Quad Jasmer, what's next?
Well, I'm going to have to blame Poanne for this. She's, we did a bit of caching in the Midwest together, and she's doing a thing called a Jasmer by type.
Oh.
So you go after Jasmers, but it's just for a particular type of cache. And for example, the virtual Jasmer, it might be the easiest one, depending how you see things, because there's a whole bunch of years where no virtuals were published.
Right.
So those years are just discounted straight away. So after talking to Poanne, I went and had a look at the lists and did a bit of a search. And the first virtual is in the Rift Valley in Africa. So that put a stall on I went, oh boy. Africa.
Another continent. So
another continent. It'd be wonderful, but that's one I think I'm going to have to think about. So Jasmer by virtual is one I might think about, by multi, and by earth cache, because I love earth caches and I do them any chance I get. So I've gotten a lot of months just by, as you say, Tim, doing the things I like. And but it's something I haven't really put a lot of effort into yet because it's been such a busy, crazy year. And I don't know. I think I'm going to be able to talk my husband into Africa, but we'll just have to see.
That's great. I have that one on my watch list, and Retired Guy, I believe, recently found it. And it was a very good log. It was with some helpful tidbits in it. So,
good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think I'll ever get to Africa, but I didn't think I'd ever get a Russian cache either.
Right. So you never know.
Never know.
Just don't say never. Yeah. And that kind of, we were chatting pre-show, if someone is curious where they're at with the Jasmer, even though it's not, this checker is not linked to a Quad Jasmer challenge cache, because they wouldn't allow that, there are still checkers built that will do things for you. So you can go to projectgc.com/challenges/78169, or you can just search by checker number 78169. And so this just will show you, it's a nice visual representation of your status on Quad. And which months, because there's plenty of stats that'll show you a number, but this is just kind of expanded. It's an easy tool to read. So yeah, if you're curious, where am I in the Quad Jasmer status?
Does it just give you a yes or no, Emily, or does it?
No, to memory, and I can run it real quick here on my phone. I have it saved because I tend to share it with so many people. So I'm running that now, and what I'm seeing is it's like your typical Jasmer chart of months across the top, years down the side. And then it either gives the GC code that you qualify with, or for me, I'm missing 4. And so instead of a code, it's in a different color text and it has the word missing. So it's really easy for your eyes to jump right to those months where you need to fill something in.
Well, and let's see.
Are you pulling that up, Tim?
I'm going to try. Let's
All
see
right.
how we're, again, it's a little bit fuzzy. Here's the challenge checker. I do not qualify. Okay, so it looks like this.
Yeah, and there's your 8 or so, right?
And I'm good through, I found 7 in 2025 of it that exist. And so I got to scroll way back up. So here is 2000. And you can see I need 1 for May, 2 for July, 1 for August, 2 for November, 2 for December. And my interesting thing is there's two in Boston for the December one. There's 2 in, I think it's Colorado for July. August is Potter's Pond, so I got to be careful with the weather. These 2, I forget where they are, but they're close together. So I might get my Quad Jasmer before I get my Triple Jasmer.
That's funny.
Kind of crazy. But yeah, that's, and I just put in the Project GC /challenges / that code number that you gave, Emily. And then you run the checker and it brings this right up. So
yeah, it's nice how they can build things that help us, even if there's not a cache that it's allowed to be linked to or has the ability to be linked to. Poan has another suggestion for Rift Valley. Make sure you get a driver. So just one more tip. I'm sure that cache has a lot of tips in people's logs. So that's one to have fun just absorbing everyone's info to achieve.
Well, it might be one that we're a little bit closer to than you guys for a change. So that's
true, right? Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the Osmer. So, we talked about GB's new challenge, different smaller versions, angles we take on all these different statistics. Do you have like Osmer loops or anything like that? Is anything like that popular to create, or do people just stop at the 1 loop Osmer?
Yeah, I've only seen a 1 loop Osmer. Julie's in the chat. She may know more than I do about that. I had a bit of a search. It's not really an easy thing to look for because you don't know what people are going to call such a challenge. Yeah. But with this with this challenge checker that you've got, it'd be a good way to potentially look at that. And also, if I wanted to create a challenge, maybe doing second Osmer, third Osmer, etc., it might be able to tell me what I'm not sure.
Yeah, I bet you they could take that existing challenge checker that we were just looking at and add 1 qualification of the country and turn it into an Osmer checker. Yeah.
Yeah. We have got some good challenge checker writers. So it might be something that we can have a look at. I mean, like I said, Julie is my challenge we've created challenges together and go get a lot of them as well.
Good.
So it might be something that we can approach and think about.
Yeah, she's saying in the chat there's usually just one loop Osmer, but interesting concept. So maybe you guys can bring something new to the country. Yeah. Any other variations on Osmer that you can think of?
Well, there seems to be quite a few limited Osmers, isn't there? I might get 50% of the months, or some percentage of the months, or
kind of like mini Jasmers that people
mini Jasmers, that sort of thing. I haven't seen any Jasmer by type, but there's probably not a lot of crazy people in the world that have done that yet.
Mm-hmm. And I guess
I think Poan Ranks is probably one of the craziest that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Between
we
her
love
and
you for that,
TTO2,
Poan.
In a good way, of course.
And then you have to have enough people that have done it so that you can actually make a challenge, right?
Right. And so maybe, I don't know what I'm talking about, not knowing the scene, but it sounds like it could be easier for people to achieve mini Osmers than mini Jasmers, maybe. So
yeah, because we do have quite a lot of old caches in Australia. I mean, one of my things at the moment is to try and get all the 2000 caches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
in the country,
really in the country. I have a friend that's just completed that, but she put a lot of effort into that because she's not traveling overseas. So yay for Mighty Minions who achieved that this month.
Good, congrats.
But it's something to think about, right? If you can't leave Australia, and not everybody can travel, so you can just go for all the 2000, then you're 2001. I mean, the sky's the limit for challenges, really, isn't there?
Right. So that's good thought. This audience is extremely vast, and there's ability to travel in multiple different reasons why it's not a possibility outside of your local area or country or whatever. So get the creative juices flowing on what you can offer.
That's right.
Oh wow. Cheeky Brit is busy. We'll see what we can do with this comment and put that in the show notes. I'll get that copy. That's a lot to read on air and it wouldn't sound great. But thanks for the I always love our research department during the live show. I'm trying to figure out how to copy this comment. We'll figure that out.
Yep. Chat room is great, and they love to blow up. And I learned about a new city in Canada today from another podcast show, and it just blew up the chat room. And it's not appropriate for our audience. So you'll have to look it up, and it's in Fairfax, I think, East Canada.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other amazing recollections, like core moments of your Jasmer quest?
Well, one thing is what I try to do is balance it out, I suppose. Like I said, I needed to get to Texas to get a December 2000 cache. So combining it with like the Houston Space Center just was amazing. And if I look back at my trip across America, and although we went to some great events and I saw a lot of people, sometimes it's the other stuff that you do as well along the way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Houston
absolutely.
Space Center, some of the walks I did with Julie and all the bugs you have up there in the Midwest. I'm glad we don't have to deal with them in Australia.
That's great.
But so many caches. I mean, I think I've done over 5,000 caches this year. So I'm getting a little muddled in my head about what's where, when, where,
Yeah. So it sounds like your United States stats are probably pretty high for it being a different country than you live in.
Yeah. County hunting, contiguous county hunting was fun.
Oh,
trying to get
fun.
that as I drove from Denver down to Texas, Nevada, Arizona, and back. But yeah, it's all part of the game, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, we were also talking before the show. This year, I didn't make any progress towards my Jasmer, which has been my sole focus. But I had a fun year, and every trip I took, of course, I tried to add the geocaching to it that would be so unique for the area I went to. And I had a very fun No Jasmer Progress year, and it's not over yet.
Yep. Well, this is a Sunshine Coast block party, which I attended last month. And on the back, you get to write your saying. And mine is, I don't know if you can see it.
It says kitty cat, keen but not crazy. Yes, we can see it.
That's something I try to keep in mind.
Very fun. I like that. That's a great motto to live by.
Though some people would question that. That's what they say.
I love it. I love it.
So only to stalk because I can, and while I'm listening to you ladies go, this is Kitty Catch's map. She has 34 of 250 countries that she's logged in, and she has more caches found in the United States than New Zealand. So she has over 2,000 caches found in the United States. Yeah. Now, granted, she has 21,000 in Australia, so I guess caching close to home is important. But that is pretty amazing that the United States is your second country by finds. Congratulations.
Well, I mean, it's not related to Jasmine. Well, it is actually. Julie and I and my husband drove the I-5 basically from all of California, from what's the capital?
Sacramento.
Sacramento to San Diego, and then up through the Grand Canyon, Potter's Pond, and back to Denver. And our first day on the I-5, I mean, we don't have freeways like you have in America. In Australia, we were a blithering mess on the side of the road, had to stop and breathe, after the freeway, our first freeway experience. But we just had so much fun. And it's such, like Australia, all of the states are different. There's so much to see. And it's just a great big adventure, isn't it?
Right. It's very true.
Yeah. So, and I know you and I have been caching, or we've met at various parties over the years, and it really, I go back to the game saying there are three things that are very important to me about this game: the places that we go, the things that we see, and probably most importantly are the people we meet.
People.
It was such a pleasure to meet you and Julie and the whole crew from Australia this year. At my event, I was so honored that you guys made it. And when I had friends from Finland that came in, and we chatted before they came to the States. They had a wonderful visit, and they also met us in Finland, and so we went around with them. So these are friends that I will have forever, and we just met because of geocaching.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it's such a small world, isn't it, Tim? Because I think on the cruise, or you met my good friend Sol DeLune.
Yes, I did. Yes,
on this trip as well, and
she had an event in Stockholm.
Is my first find. He's quite an ambassador for our sport as well, particularly here in Australia. But it's a small world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And whether, I apologized every time I did an event. I said, I'm sorry, I'm an American. I speak one language. Sorry. And, everybody else was able to accommodate either with very broken English that we could talk about, and we could talk about caches in common that we had each gotten. The Match Dash is a big cache in Europe for everyone, and so we had that one in common that we could talk about. And it was a very, very small world for the folks that I met. And again, I'll have friends for a long, long time that I met on this trip.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, you got to come down to Australia, and we'll go scuba diving, Tim.
It is on the list, isn't there? Somebody told me that April 2027 is when I want to get to Australia. Is that right?
Yes. We're putting on an event on the south coast of New South Wales. So it's probably about 4 hours drive south of Sydney. Beautiful drive too, all along the coast. 2nd of April 2027. Of course, we don't have a GC code yet, but if you're thinking about coming, and I believe that Houston, Texas said recently that he might be looking at some plane tickets, so that would be great. But the invitation is there, and hopefully we can. I mean, if I can travel to all the crazy places I've been to, it's not that far, and we really don't have things that eat you. Things might bite you, but we don't have bears and mountain lions and things that will eat you.
Right. Well, yeah, the bears
like
will
that.
eat you, and there's not that many of them. The rattlesnakes will bite you, not necessarily kill you. But what I understand from Australia is that everything is trying to kill you there.
That's what they say, but it's not true.
Who are they to know?
We had at our event last year in Canberra, we had one of those, those plaque pools, we call them here, blue-sided pools, put on a stage, and we had the 10 of the most dangerous snakes put into that in boxes, and 3 guys, and they showed us how if you just stand still, the snakes ignore you. And they were in that, it was just amazing. So I'm not so afraid of the snakes anymore. Spiders won't kill you either. I mean, it's all what you get used to. My sister-in-law says she's got bear spray and bells, and we go out on these 14ers in Colorado, and I'm thinking bear spray and bells just not enough.
It's not enough.
Not enough. No.
So it's all
you don't want to make a bear angry, and so
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know that I could do that. I don't know that I could get in a pool even with evidence that
Oh, we didn't get in the pool. The snake handlers did.
The handlers did. No.
Yeah.
Good for them. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for
once again.
Yeah.
Thank you for visiting. And I don't know, is it that time for the next part of our show?
I think it's that time. So yes, congrats.
All right. Well, here's another friend, Kitty.
Hi, I'm Steve Marshall. I'm from Australia, now in the US. Time for the Wheel of Challenges.
You probably could have been a little more excited when I did that.
Just a little. Oh, that's great. Yes, so it's time for the Wheel of Challenges. 1 live viewer each month will be selected to face off against the wheel to have a chance to win the grand prize, a 1-year membership on Project GC. And we ask that you limit yourself to 3 lifetime wins. So get your email ready right now. Send an email. Let's throw that up on the screen. challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com. Get the subject line ready with the words "spin me" followed by your geocaching username in brackets, and answer the following question. And I'm looking for that banner with the question.
Wait, where's the question? There
Yes.
it is.
In what state did Kitty finish her Quad Jasmer? All right, so I'm going to pop over to email and see what we've got.
All right, you do that. Kitty and I will do the infamous dance that we always have to do while there's nothing going on in the show. Let's see if I can share my screen while we do that. We need to come up with some fancy music while...
I know, we need some waiting music, some wheel waiting.
Wheel waiting, yeah, while we get the answers in, because you get to look for it, but then I got to do the rest of the stuff on my side, so...
All right, well, we have our first correct answer.
Ooh.
And okay. Tim, would you like me to spell it for you? I don't recognize this name, so I'm so glad you're here. So the name is, and I lost my email already, D. Trover, and the correct answer was Texas, is where Kitty finished her Quad Jasmer challenge. So G. Trover.
I got it. Okay.
We're gonna spin that wheel and see if you qualify.
Okay, I'm copying their GC name, so hopefully they put it in correctly with capitals and stuff. Around and where we go. Easy one.
We just crossed into a 5-star difficulty. GC 7D YGR, the event challenge 500. All right.
I think this was modeled after the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So you need to get points for various events, and you need to come up to 500 points, and you can only get a maximum of 250 points for any particular event.
Okay.
So Giga counts for 250, Mega is 10, Cedo is 3. Let's bring the checker up. Put in her username. There we go. Comes up good. And she does not
Oh.
qualify for the challenge.
Does it say how many points?
It does, which is kind of nice. She has 379 points. She does have 2 giga events, which if they didn't have the limit in there would have gotten her to
it would have
500.
right.
But you can only get 250 for any one kind of event. So she's got 4 mega events, 8 CETOs, and 65 regular events. So Miss Trover, you need to get out on the event trail a little bit more.
But thank you so much for
Yeah.
watching and participating in the Wheel of Challenges. Like I said, first time I've seen your name come through on the show. So thank you so much. All right. And now we would like to give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who emailed us proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show. So once again, a reminder, send us an email with this information between this show and the next show to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com. And here are a few challenges we heard about.
So our first one was sent in by Sims Quest, and it is GCAFRJA. And this one is along the America's Caching Trail. It's number 41, Montana's Challenge. And the goal here is to fill a fizzy grid in 3 different states.
All right. Good job. Wow.
Yeah, I have 2 states where I finished this one. I signed that challenge, but I need another state.
That's amazing. She's another traveler. So well done. That's pretty fun. Yeah. This next one is from GB's GC9G3FH. I know Tim's looking for that to pull that up.
Yeah, I must have pulled up the wrong window here. So stand by. Technical difficulties.
All right. You're
Let's bring the window up. Here we go. We're going to do this. Not the page. We want the window.
Okay. So this is BCS Lonely, a challenge. Find at least 30 caches of any type where the average days per find exceed 180. I got to wrap my head around that again. Find at least 30 caches of any type. Oh, the average lonely days. Okay. Per find exceed 180 lonely days. Okay. Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's a good lonely challenge. What year was that hidden, Tim?
That was hidden in 2021. So that is a current. That met the old guidelines put out by El Rojo 14. It's a 43 on the difficulty grid, so it's not terribly difficult.
Yeah, but good. Very interesting. That's another fun thing to work on is those lonely caches. I know we have a big contingent of people who are into that.
Right, and of course, no show would be complete without a submission from the Cheeky Brit.
That's right.
And this is for GC8BXM1. And this is a challenge cache that says Dare to be Different in Nebraska. Now, this is a 4.5-1. So the challenge cache, complete your fizzy grid using an attribute for each space. So you have to have 81 different attributes in the 81 different squares of the DT grid.
That's really cool. And it's only rated a 45. So what was the cache rating that the owner gave it?
4.5-1.
4.5. All right.
Well, the difficulty 4.5. I mean, the longer you cache, the easier this one becomes, and it works with both positive and negatives.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
So yeah, you have a lot of options to be able to get this one. Good. That's a neat variation. This next one comes from Team Tailwagger, GC9N1HG, International Container Challenge. Find each of the 7 container types, micro, small, regular, large, virtual, other, and not chosen in 2 different countries. Okay. So this one now no longer qualifies, but falls under the current grandfather. And it's a fun challenge. I like this. I mean, it is challenging to find the not chosen cache type, but it is possible. And now this one's a little higher. This one rates as 78 on the difficulty scale, probably because of that second country. That, again, for those of us in America, fairly easy to hop across the border to either Mexico or Canada. I prefer Canada, but that's just probably because of where I live. But yeah, so that's a pretty cool one that Mike got from Team Tailwagger. And our last submission for the month came from the Birkenstock report. It is GC5BRXR. And this is Alaska's Lonely Cache Challenge. You have to find enough caches to get 40 lonely points. I'm sorry, 50.
50.
50 lonely points. And each month that it's lonely gets you a different set of points all the way up. This particular cache is only a 10 on the challenge scale. And I think possibly because it's only had 58 people run the checker. And so it may not have gone through the process. It's a 2-2 challenge. And the lonely caches can come from anywhere, but the cache itself is placed in Alaska.
Right. And she said she qualified with just one cache, Alaskan Bill's Tarzan cache, location 2, and that gave her 66 points. And she was really proud of it because it hadn't been found in 6 years. She said it had a spoiler photo which featured terrain so different it almost made it harder to find. She also says the cache owner, Alaskan Bev, is an awesome retired teacher who is in her 70s, is about 5 feet tall, and probably weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. She's hid some of the most challenged terrain caches that Birkenstock report has ever found. And she is one of the few Alaskans who truly loves tree climbs as much as she does. So that's a fun story to go with that.
It is. And we also got submissions from Canuck 1867 and the J6 family. And, Challenge Cache also has a worldwide audience. And we got this submission from the Cheeky Brett. And what do you know? He's on somebody's front porch.
Yeah.
And that certainly looks like Math Seeker.
That's right. So Cheeky Brit is in Arkansas, and Challenge Talk community members are meeting up with each other. And yes, again, the people are just amazing in this community. I love it.
Yeah. So that is really cool.
Yeah.
So once again, thanks to everybody. If you don't submit them, we can't read them. And we love to know about challenges that are going around in other places around the globe. So
that's right.
Please send your submissions in.
That's right. And we've got some upcoming shows, of course. We've got Geocaching at Night Done Right on the next regular Sunday show, Geocache Talk show. So that's exciting for the season that we're in. And the next Gadget Talk, October 21st, secondhand inspired gadget caches. Sounds like some upcycling of things into caches done by Chad. That is great. Hey, I'm sitting beside something that Chad made. It's this tube, and you might be familiar with such a tube.
One of those.
Yeah, where you have to get the bison into the hole to get it out to sign the log. I didn't know where to hide it. So far I'm starting to take this to events, and you can get on the log of honor if you get this out of the tube and get your name on the log. And then I attached a trackable. You can also log a trackable if you get the log of honor out of the tube. So yeah, very fun.
That's cool. That's very nice. And wasn't there another GIF film? That's not trash. That's a geocache.
Very fun. Oh, you guys, GIF is coming up soon.
GIF is coming.
Look for a GIF in your area.
And we know that the Cheeky Brit is one of the finalists.
Yes.
I don't
Congratulations, Cheeky Brit. Can't wait to see it. And then we'll talk all about it. Well done to one of our Challenge Talk community members.
Yeah. So that's what we've got for tonight. Remember, our next show is the second Tuesday of November. It's going to be on the 11th.
And show notes will be posted shortly. Everything we talked about will have a proper link so you can find all those GC codes and make your plans from things that inspired you from the show. That the show notes will be linked in the video description and the podcast description.
Now, we also remember that when you're out and about, say hello to Emily or I in that very special way, like...
I'm Firefighter Skippy from Connecticut, and challenge accepted.
Or...
Hey, it's Alibaba 40 Thieves here from Long Island, New York. Challenge completed.
Now, if you're really lucky, you could be like these two guys. Go.
I'm Wits End from Caching in the Northwest. Challenge accepted. I'm Chris in the Northwest from Caching in the Northwest. Challenge completed.
That's great.
Don't have to.
That's great. Really familiar voices there. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Kitty. Again, congratulations on the big achievement. Thank you for sharing it with all of us and inspiring us. And
remember, it really is not about the numbers. It's about the challenge.
Challenge accepted. Good night, everyone.
These